But it's just
Is it the Miles folks?
Yeah, talking about how they're targeting
That you
intentional
don't hear
parenting.
anything.
well, thank you.
A different world.
Where's Mike? Ingalls.
He's out of town. Doesn't come home until Saturday.
Do we have a quorum if we lose someone?
5 is a quorum.
All right.
Yes, I think we're getting started.
All right. Good morning, everyone. We'll call this meeting to order of the Tourist Development Council. Today is November 12th, 9 a.m. And would someone like to give the invocation? Although that appears to be a new specialty of mine after doing it at the Citrus United, the
Max.
food bank.
All right, I'll do it, but everybody's got to stand up and bow their head.
Thanks, Matt.
So, Heavenly Father, we're gathered again to try to do the business of our county and our residents, and we want to be guided, we want to be open, we want to do what our folks like, but what's best for our future. And we want the facts to come through, and we want to absorb them, and we ask for your help in doing that so we can do a really good job for our wonderful place. Amen.
And thank you for your service. Would you lead us in the pledge, too?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
No, there
Those ponies regularly break the internet. They do. They're just so doggone cute. Okay, roll call, please.
All right, roll call. All right, Commissioner Holly Davis.
Here?
Mike Ingalls is not here. Councilman Chris Ensing.
Here.
Councilman Tom Craig.
Here.
Dr. Desai.
Yeah.
Michael Mankey.
Here.
Mike Shoemaker, absent. Miss Luann Jacobs. Mrs. Excuse me. And Max Shulman.
Here.
All right.
Outstanding. All right, board looking for a approval of agenda.
So moved.
Motion by Michael Mankey.
Max.
Max?
Max was second.
And Max was second. Okay, Michael Mankey and Max, sorry. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Okay, approval of minutes. Any changes?
Nope, we're good.
I move we accept them as written.
Okay. Motion by Max Schulman, second by Tom Craig. Any board discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Okay, would anybody like to address the board? Open to the public, you get 3 minutes. Ladies, you guys always come up, come on.
Good morning. I'm Kathy Turner Thompson, and I'm here to reintroduce myself after 3 years of post-retirement from the Old Courthouse Heritage Museum. I had the opportunity to work with the office on writing some new information about history in Citrus County. When I retired, I said I was going to become the advocate for history and historic preservation. So few people really understand historic preservation, so I'm here to do that. I'm also here to give you a little update about what we've been doing at the museum. I continue to volunteer at the museum, and I see visitors from around the state, nation, and internationally. So I always love to do that, and it's really rewarding to see where everyone's coming from and why. As you all know, we have a lot of natural resources, and I think it's a great opportunity for intersect our cultural, our historical, and our natural resources, because I think when we do that, we can expand length of days of visits to Citrus County. It's a known fact that people who travel for heritage tourism stay longer and they spend more. Actually, they spend about 175 days compared to 45-day trips, and that was as of last year. So bring the brochures, but if you go to www.courthouse.org, you will be able to find our website, and you'll be able to see some of the digital virtual exhibits that we've already created online. We did one back in 2014 that was all around all the things found at the Chazawiska Springs cleanup. There's another one on the George Washington Carver Community Building and School, and we hope to do very many more. Thank you very much.
Kathy, so is it really just courthouse.org? Just one
Citrus,
word?
cccourthouse.org.
CC.
Thank you, cccourthouse.org.
I was about to say, that's a really valuable
Yeah, yeah.
URL.
Yeah,
It's
CC
just
Courthouse.
courthouse.org. Okay.
I think that might be the only one.
Yeah.
So-
And have you been contacted yet? Did you follow, this is a different subject, the green print that we are doing? And so they asked me who I wanted for historical, and of course I said, well, duh.
Thank you. Yes, they just contacted me.
Good.
Thank you,
Good.
thank
So
you.
you'll be interviewed for that.
Yes.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
I just have a comment. So I was, thinking, next week, Partners in Tourism, we're going to be out in Inverness at the Wood Spring Suite.
Okay,
So it might be a
okay,
great opportunity to give you some part in that presentation to
Okay.
talk to the partners there, because I think that'll be a good a marriage where, as we're getting into the manatee season, where we can get folks from the west side of the county to the
Yeah.
east side of the county as they come in droves,
Yeah.
starting Saturday.
Yeah, and the other thing about cultural and historical and heritage tourism is it's a great opportunity to fill those gaps in your shoulder season.
So we'll shoot you an email. We'll
Okay.
give you that, and if you want to put together a couple slides, if you want some more presentation, we'll love to welcome you there.
Okay, thank you very much.
Kathleen, just one thing. What we were talking once in one of the board meetings about the fact that you have information that you get from the visitors that you gather.
Right.
And we were talking about getting that digitized so that we could see kind of who's coming to your museum
Yes,
and stuff
sure.
like that.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think I had to run out at that meeting, but I will definitely get with the number of people over there and get that
Yeah,
information.
yeah. I think that they would love to see those numbers because she's got some really good data. They fill out stuff, every one, for the past 20 years or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yes.
And they have just sheets of information that says who's coming from where and
For why and how.
And how.
they got here. So, okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Oh, hello.
I wasn't going to talk. I'm Marty Johnson. Since we're talking history, Saturday is the 60th anniversary of the Crystal River Archaeological State Park. We're having all kinds of events going on from 10 to 2. We'd love to have you there, and you get a free coffee mug if you come.
All right.
Wonderful.
We're there. We're there.
Okay, so Allison Pinkston, since we're talking history, I'm just gonna keep going with that. We recently signed the lease with the city for the old Coastal Heritage Museum, and we are also working to turn it into a Heritage Cultural History Center, which will also house our office. We had it open for Stone Crab Jam, and we welcomed hundreds of people in because they were super excited to see the building open. Leslie had actually created all these great panels that had decades from 1930s to 2020s, or no, 1920s, because it was the 100 years. So it was 1920s to 2020s. And everybody just loved it. We have those up all the time. If I am in the office doing whatever it might be, I have the doors open. I have seen people whose language, I'm not sure what they were. And Canadians, like I've had a lot of international guests coming in and a lot of locals even. I had several high school kids come in while I was actually like demoing because their teacher sent them there to learn about the building because it was a WPA project. And they're like, we don't know where else to go. And I'm like, oh, I got you. So I had that information because, of course, a big part of my job is knowing the history of my town. But we're really excited to have a home now on Citrus Avenue, and we're working to have it open all the time So we have a spot for the visitors to pop in. They can learn about the downtown, they can learn about our businesses, but they can also learn our history.
Excellent. Anyone else? Leslie? No? All right, we'll close open to the public. And I'm so sorry I didn't come over and introduce myself. I was like, oh, we have a new face.
And I have that in my report. So
I figured, but I just wanted to apologize. I actually am friendly, so. Anyway, then carry on.
Sure. So no presentations. So you see, I see that. So we get into our, I guess, our report, our E, right? E1, okay. So the first thing we need you all to make a motion and pass are the approved meeting dates for 2026. I just want to make a note for the November meeting date. Veterans Day actually falls on a Wednesday next year. So we have proposed it go to the 12th, which is a Thursday. That's the only thing. So it'll be next November. Instead of Wednesday, it will be the 12th. So the slate is, let's see.
Page 10.
Page 10. I'm sorry about that. I was looking for it. If you go to page 10, you'll see all 6 dates for 2026 for our TDC meetings. So.
I'm good with all of them.
Okay.
Anybody else?
Sounds good.
All right.
Need a motion? I'll make it.
Second.
Okay. Motion by Michael Mankey, second by Tom Craig. Any further board discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you. All right, E2, moving on. New travel initiatives. E2A, this is the approval for an additional person one, this is a new show. It's a Reagan Social Media Conference in Orlando. It's a big Disney event. This is something that our newest member, which I'll introduce him again later on in the presentation here, Nick Pompum, to go to this particular social media conference. It'll be a good way for him to have some more tourism background information. So that's March in 2026. Then we go into B. This is ESTOA conference we already attend. So this is a marketing social media conference that Terry's a part of. We are also looking for an additional staff person to attend with Terry. Again, that is next August in 2026. Probably be Nick with her as well on that one. And then E2C is recommending for myself to attend the STS board meeting in Atlanta, Georgia. And what we're doing with that one is, even though this is a new trip, we're replacing one of our HR summits that we're no longer going to. So that's just more of a swap of that, and it's actually less money. So that's in Atlanta in a couple of weeks. And then D, we need to recommend the approval for related budget transfers out of it. So any questions on those 3 particular travels?
And you were appointed to the board.
Yes, I was.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Huge honor. It gives us a little bit louder voice. I believe not only in the southeast region, of course, but in D.C., which is where some of those big decisions get made. So anytime we can take advantage of that, and from a representation standpoint, we felt it was important. So thank you.
Excellent.
So that's all the E2, A, B, C, and D.
Okay. Anybody want to make a motion? For E2, A, B, C, and D.
Let's stay consistent. I will be happy to make a motion.
I will be happy to second that one.
You had to blow it, Max. It's been Tom the last few times.
I wasn't fast enough.
Motion by Michael Mankey, second by Max Schulman. Any further board discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
All right. Okay, now E3.
Back up a second.
I'm sorry.
Since we're talking about travel, when do you want to talk about Dallas?
You know what? I think we're good on that. I was just going to get with some of the board members on the side to figure some travel travel schedules out. So we're fine with that. We're all, because it's more so we were approval for the board symposium for the number of people. It's not so much about
The person.
It's just the number.
Got
of
it.
people. So yep. Thank you for mentioning that.
Okay.
E3, Hayworth PR project proposal. I think this is something that you all will be very happy about. You know, in our we mentioned in our media proposal from the agency standpoint that we wanted to make sure we touch base some of these local markets. You know, whether it's the Ocala's, the Tampa's, just to make sure we kind of get those drive markets and a little bit more, be more intentional with that service. So on page 26, you'll see the proposal. Where Hayworth PR, and this kind of really goes into that content development, some metrics and everything, and what we're trying to do in regards to pulling in those people for the seasons and everything. And it has a lot with it, of course, events, broadcast campaigns, promotions, sponsorships, activations as well. But the goal is to basically add on to what we're already doing to ensure we are, getting the attention of the right folks coming into the marketplace. Not only for outdoors, excursions, but historical values as well. And we're doing that with a brand new campaign. And then you'll see it split up here, $20,000 for the content development, content creator fees, then another $20,500 for the consumer media missions, events, broadcast, campaigns, promotions, and sponsorships. It's a big bang for the buck, and we're excited to propose this to the TDC Council. So we can go ahead and support our local businesses even more.
Excellent. Anyone?
Do we, I think, we have a track record with them. Have we seen any particular person that they will be offering to do this work, or?
We have a PR account manager. Her name is Brittany Gerton, and she's very familiar with our destination and is in destination many, many times throughout the year. And she's just down in the Tampa Bay area, so.
She has the bandwidth to carry that on. What's her current assignment of hours?
Current assignment of ours is just sort of the basics right now. We're doing monthly press releases when seasonals. She gets us the influencers and things like that, but we're at a very minimal level of service with Hayworth right now. This is gonna take us to the next level and help us really bring in that drive market that we know that we need to work on within Florida and just outside of Florida.
And the main thing too I add is, wow, I'm so loud there. Activations is where we're missing some of the boats at, so we're gonna target some of those other markets where we can do things in their markets.
If anybody doesn't know what activations are, it's an in-market, so we want to go to, like, say, Atlanta and take a bunch of scallops with us and do a cooking class at one of the nice restaurants in Atlanta and invite travel writers or travel agencies to come and be a part of it. And that's an activation where you're actually in destination and doing something like that. Or, for example, the World Cup that's coming up, we might have an activation there where even if we just have a booth and we do something with the manatee focus or scallop focus or something like that. It's an in-destination activation is why they use that word.
And the same thing goes for the villages. But we're specifically trying to target locations where we feel that the people are not only coming here to, that where we can capitalize on bringing more of those people from that particular area.
Good, that's exactly what I'd hoped to hear.
Yep. I said, this is going to make Max really happy. I said, that's the only reason why I'm doing it. No, I'm joking. It's the right thing to do, and the analytics support it.
Yeah, that's a good point. The analytics with it as well.
All right, and that'll be E3.
Anyone?
Can I make a motion?
Yes.
Accept it.
Okay.
Second.
Motion by Michael Mankey, second by Luann Jacobs. Any further board discussion?
Yeah, who's going to be riding herd over the project on our staff side? Is it a combined effort or
Sort of.
Yeah, it's going to be a combined effort, but, Nick and Terry and Kelly, the three of them would, do a lot of that lifting, with Brittany and everything. So for sure.
Perfect.
We are I think for those who don't know, we are a very cross-functional group of people, but we
That's what they were saying.
Yeah. But with the three of them, we're really excited. We're finally getting the man and woman power, personnel, right? I don't want to get canceled.
No, it's all
right. But yeah, so we got the personnel now, and we're building that team. But yeah, the three of them will work with our PR for sure. Yep, total team effort. All right. All right, so I guess we're up to E4, destination.
No, we didn't get a.
Oh,
Call for the vote, boss.
Oh, hello. Yesterday was a very long day. I was not in okay shape when I got home last night. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
awesome. All right, now it's on me, right? All right, I feel like it's been on me the whole time. Okay, I know, right? All right, so let's look at some operations, kind of give you guys a little update. Listen, we've been very, very, very busy, in a good way, though. Well, the first announcement I would like to take care of without further ado is we've just hired a brand new marketing and content manager. His name is Nick Popham, formerly of Tampa Bay News 9. I snatched him from the souls of Tampa Bay News, and I said, we need you over here. He gladly accepted. And I really wanted to give him this moment to, introduce himself. But he comes with tons of experience, multiple markets. Has been all over the country. He's originally born in the West Coast in California, and I'll let him talk a little bit about that and his experiences. But we have over 2 weeks now. We have all grown into a family as we always have been. So without further ado, I would like to welcome Nick Popham to the team.
Thank you, Avis, and it's new for me. Thank you, Avis, and thank you guys for letting me be here and be a part of this awesome team. Like Avis mentioned, I was at Bay News 9 for about 3 years down in the Tampa Bay area. My wife is a teacher down there, and so she and I were just excited for a new opportunity, and this one came up. And during my time at Bay News 9, some of my favorite stories that I got to tell involved businesses and talking about just some of the ways they've been able to either overcome hardships or have been able to find creative ideas to bring people into their fold, whether it be for restaurants or hotels or different type of events or activities. And so getting to do that and sort of a daily job here and highlighting the businesses that make Crystal River and make Citrus County such an awesome place was something that I was so excited to be a part of. As Avis mentioned, I'm originally from Southern California. But with a job in TV news, you kind of bounce all over the place. A new job is not at a neighboring station, it's at a neighboring state and region. I basically can say Yahtzee when it comes to every region I've worked in. I've lived in New York, Iowa, Arkansas, Seattle, and then moved to Tampa. So every part of the country I've gotten to experience at least a little bit for a few years. And I've just been so thankful to call Florida home for the last few years, and just really excited to explore more of Citrus County and really get to tell a lot of the stories of our businesses and what makes this place so unique. So, yeah.
Were you on air?
I was, yeah.
Yeah, because you have that whole demeanor and voice. And
100%.
practice and-
100%.
Yeah.
Like,
Go on our Facebook page and look at the archaeological park piece he did last week, and it's very, very good.
wonderful.
Fell in love with walking around there. That place is beautiful, and then
You gotta do moonlight over the mountains there. That's really cool.
oh my gosh, yeah, the views
On
are
a
just
full moon.
incredible, and oh man, I told them though I need to bring bug spray the last time because I got kind of eaten up a little bit, but
It's an understatement.
it was still such a
Won't
treat.
happen now. A little too cold.
Yeah, right. That's why I was so happy. I was like, I got to make my way over
And
there.
I went during the winter and froze my biscuits off. It was cold.
Oh, I'm sure.
But it was beautiful.
Oh man, the walking
Yeah,
trails, the
with
mountains.
with a full moon, it was just stunning.
Yeah, it's just breathtaking. It's really, really neat. But just going, I'm just excited. We're going to be with a photographer tomorrow for manatee season, kind of getting pictures of that, which we're excited
Carol
about.
Grant.
Carol Grant is coming back to take some pictures with us. So just to be here during like the heart of manatee season and just with all these new and exciting things happening is just getting me fired up just to get out there and start putting together content, not only for our pages, but to highlight the businesses around too. So
Wonderful. Welcome aboard.
you so
Congratulations.
much.
Anyone
Appreciate
else?
Nick said he was going to get us a boom. I wanted a boom. I've always wanted one of those.
wanted to be a boom mic operator.
Yeah, so
that-
he's going to try to get one from Tampa Bay News 9 for us. So.
Hey, Avis, wait till he sees what Mallard's is going to look like.
Yes. All right. Well, thank you, Nick. Welcome again, and excited to a bright future. So, some more announcements. I'll show you this a little bit later in the presentation, but we have a new analytics update with Zartico. It's called their Z5. It has a new cross visitation report. I unveiled it at our last PIT, so some of you who were in attendance got to see that. It's going to be pretty awesome. We also have a new partnership with a company called Key Data. Mr. Mankey would like this. What this provides us is, number one, we're going to have some international numbers now, which is
Muy
huge.
bueno.
Which is huge. I mean, like targeting actually where they're coming from. And then also what Key Data is going to provide us, and we just had a very small, I don't want to say a training, but just a walkthrough. But now we'll have some forecasting and some trend, so where when people are booking, we'll know we can pull up like a 2-week window of booking, and then it would tell us how many are booked, and then for how far out they booked. So in a 2-week period, let's just say in October 1 through October 15th, they're booking all the way out to 6 months and exactly how far they're booking. So we'll have that data too, which is huge, which is something we haven't had. So we're excited about that because our forecasting it's been a little bit lackluster in my opinion. I wanted to do more forecasting and it's more trends to kind of get on top of things and things of that nature. So we were all really excited about that presentation. So that was last week. So we'll start presenting that to you all as well. And I'm sure Michael and Dr. Desai, anybody with the hotel resort, Luann, I'm sure they'll be calling me like, okay, hey, this is tell me what's going on this week, so which is a good thing though. So we're excited about that. Partners in Tourism next week. November the 19th at Wood Springs Suites in Inverness. We are going to shoot for 8:30 in the morning. Hopefully it's not as cold as this because we will be outside, but it's going to be really nice and it'll be our first time at that particular property. So thank you, I guess, Dr. Desai, for that, for opening your doors for that one. So excited about that. We have the restructured grant program that is now live. Working on a few kinks with the application, the fillable documents, but other than that, if you have any questions with the new program, please reach out to Christina or I. So thank you for that, for getting that through to BLCC, I guess that's the last meeting. And the Pirates Cove purchase, I just want to make a mention of that. This is something, I think it's a good thing. We are using some funds as a partner, I want to say maybe a 4-way partnership with that, where TDC funds $300,000 will be going toward the purchase and the future development of Pirates Cove, because this is something that, i.e. like a Three Sisters, the Wildlife Park, this is something very futuristic, and it's good for, I believe, TDC to be a part of. Nothing for you to vote on because it already passed BOCC and everything. And Commissioner Davis, I want to say she was part of that second when Commissioner Kennard made the motion, I believe.
Yes. I still go back and forth on, just because it's so low lying and I don't know that it would ever have been developed.
Yeah,
But, part of being a board of 5 is that you try unless you have a really good reason not to, you try to support other board members who support your
Of course,
stuff. So
of course.
I kind of agree with those that yell at me about it. And then I also agree with those that say, hey, thank you, that was awesome, good job, So
it doesn't hurt us. I think it's a good deed, and I think it's gonna help with our continued growth of resident sentiment and the positive things that tourism can do for the community. And I think that's the important piece. That's just a piece that we also have to look into, in addition to hotel room nights, which is why we're here, of course. But I just wanted to make a mention of that.
Yeah, I think that, that's a very important project that's been on again, off again, and particularly it happens to be a spot that gets an awful lot of kayakers because it's not developed. It gets a lot of kayak fishing from there, and there's got to be some heritage tie, even if it's it turns out that Gasparilla himself was there. There should be a way that when the development is going on, number one, we do it right in terms of restrooms and things that make the county look good when people show up, and number two, that if there are any heritage issues, that we find a way to incorporate them, and we need to start doing that more often. So, what?
Juan Gomez.
Good enough. Let's go.
Okay.
So currently, we have the porta potties out there so they can be yanked during storms.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
you could either do the same thing that we're doing at Fort Island Gulf Beach, or we could position a bathroom trailer.
A trailer,
so it's
yeah.
nicer.
Well, we just need to be environmentally good partners.
And we're going to talk about that too, actually. So you'll be excited about that. So
I am excited about it.
that's something Terry
Yeah,
is
we-
leading.
A lot of the folks that have been against it are power boaters. They see absolutely no reason to have that. And I said, have you been kayaking there? I have. It's gorgeous.
It is.
You
Well,
know,
and,
it's a really
and the
special
more
place
places,
for shallow draft,
Yeah.
canoes, kayaks.
and the more we do
Stand
that,
up
and that's one of the reasons that got me started on the whole lizard issue, because that was a small boat launch. The more places we have, the less pressure they put on power boats, because historically, it's a different crowd, and we mess up the flow, and they
Just
pay
ask
big money.
Crystal River boaters.
Yeah. So we just need to do this right, and it'll be a really good thing, and a really good investment of $300,000.
And staying on this side too, Christina. This is a very new announcement. Like, it's happening very fast. We've just found out that Live, the golf tournament, it's coming to Black Diamond in January.
moly.
Yeah. Like, it was so new that I didn't even have time to even put it in here, right? So January 8th through 11th. 1st through the 15th. I want to say the staff alone is about 200 personnel for approximately how many? Is it a week or two? 10 days?
Yeah, it's first through the 15th.
Yeah, so they'll be here for 2. I mean, it's a lot of people. So I'm only mentioning this because this will be a phenomenal opportunity for the county, and I would like to to do something because we with the money and the budget transfers, we're kind of limited, but it'd be great if we can talk about this to see what we can potentially do into being a part of something like this, whether it's activation, sponsorship, event support, and things of that nature. But it's something that I believe we cannot miss the opportunity on. Michael, you had a question.
I'd like to go with my earlier trend and create a motion already that would give the staff, and help me craft this if
Okay.
it's possible, or I don't know if it's a proper procedure, but with this opportunity, it's international, takes on the PGA, it's already created for me. We just booked 300 room nights in January for Paddletail. I know there's another 300 room nights going to the plantation. I know Cody's being talked to about room nights. It's probably gonna be 1,000 room night, 1,000 plus room night opportunity for us at a decent rate in a time period that we definitely need the rooms. And even if we don't get a repeat on this, the exposure, the opportunity, this is where I need the help. I don't want staff getting bogged down in the ability to make some motions. I understand, or movement. I understand you have a meeting with the folks tomorrow.
Yes.
If there's a sponsorship package, if there's something we can jump into, can we create a motion, or can I create a motion that says that I give the staff the opportunity to entertain a $60,000 to $100,000 commitment out of our $3.3 million special projects to move forward into getting into the BCC next month, so we can pull this trigger in January without having to wait to come back to us. So I don't know how we word that.
So I would say, whether it's event support, sponsorship, activation, advertising, I would encompass it all, just to give us, because I don't know yet. We don't know yet, but we just know.
But I don't want you to have to come back to us.
We'd like to create-
$12.48. Can I do it?
Our next meeting isn't until January, okay?
Our meeting
So-
is, that's why I'm saying I want
So
to
the,
do
the
something
proper,
now.
the proper procedure is that we simply have to have another board meeting between now and January. He's not prepared to do that agenda item on the fly. So while this, we've got a lot of people looking at government right now, and we cannot cut corners on what proper procedure is. And so the proper procedure is that this could be considered quote-unquote emergency, like we just waived bus fees for those that are going to food banks, right? Because SNAP funds had been suddenly boom, and that's a real problem. But we are also able to get it on the agenda several days before, I think the Friday before. So although we missed the agenda deadline, it was published for everyone to see. So if Avis had something published yesterday on the clerk's portal as part of this agenda, then I would be comfortable taking that vote because it's emergency, and that would be more frugal with funds, right? Because then we don't have to pay for advertising this meeting and all of us taking time out of our day to be here again. So my comfort level says you need to get your ducks in a row on what you need support from your board. And then we just have to do another meeting. It could be literally that one item. And so we'll come in, take the vote and leave.
I would like to schedule the meeting at the next pit and just have it so,
Before that, it has to happen before that, because it's got to go before the BOCC in December to make this work.
when is the pit?
Oh,
Yeah.
the 19th, that one,
Right,
okay.
yeah.
I thought the next one.
And just tack on a one-item agenda and 30 minutes that will come beforehand or after, since it's gotten so most
Okay.
everybody's
That
there.
works.
You mean like a,
Notice it though, is it? To
Pardon?
notice the meeting?
You got to notice it right away.
okay.
Okay.
All right. So it'd be like
Today.
a specially
So-
called meeting is what you're referring to, right? Is
Yes.
that, okay. All right.
You may
that's
want
fair.
to, check with Denise, but,
And the other, if you could check the term contingency, because what I would
100%.
like to vote is that we establish a contingency fund not to exceed $75,000 for the express purpose of taking every advantage of the live.
And you know what, too, Mike's great point, and this is what I did last year for this budget. You probably didn't even see it, but I put a contingency in the immediate plan that contingency, the reason why I don't want to touch that is because we're using that for like natural disaster. I don't want to even say the word, the H word.
Well, that's why I said
That's
expressly
that's
what
what
the
that's there for,
contingency
yeah.
is, but so that we can look at it, say yes,
Okay.
and
then that'll give me some time to meet with the event organizers just to kind of see what that may or may not look like, and then that'll give me enough time until next week, and we'll figure it out. Specially called meeting, and
Office, this does have to go before the big board, right?
of course it does.
Okay, so.
Because it's the budget transfer.
December 9th is our next board meeting.
Okay.
Okay, and my deadline will be 2 days after Pitt.
Okay. I think it's about right. Okay, so no pressure. Got it. I work well under pressure.
So I'm just saying, if you can't get it under the staff deadline, I think staff deadline is the day after Pitt.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, so we'll figure it out.
As Christina looks at me, kind of. Okay, gotcha. I'm with you. I won't leave.
Rule
you
number
hanging, I
one, always,
Right.
always be very kind to
You
the
know, so
agendas are.
you
as
guys
like
think
to
I
call
answer
it.
to you. I actually answer to her right there, so. All right, cool. But thank you for that, Michael, just bringing that, because it's important. Things like this, in a normal sense, you're able to pivot a little bit quicker. We just can't. But I think we're on the right track here, and I think that was a great idea, Commissioner Davis, about just cloak of government and spending. And even though we're not using taxpayer money from a resident standpoint, it is important to be mindful of that.
Got to dot our i's, cross our t's.
The
We
climate.
went around all this by Steve too.
Okay, cool. All right.
If we end early, I can go up there and talk. If he's in his office, I can go up there and talk with him,
Okay.
with you, if you want.
All right. Next slide, please. Okay, so some opportunities. Again, sorry.
Is there a budget item that's already in the budget that we could just add to without going through all that?
No, it's so Tom. Anytime there's something, if it's not budgeted for example, like let's just say I wanted to go to Georgia, right, and a travel show or whatever, and I want to replace it like I'm doing now with the show in D.C. And let's just say this show that I'm going to in Georgia is $1,000 cheaper. Since that Georgia show was not budgeted for, I still have to get approval, even though it's less money and we're swapping a destination. That particular show wasn't, but so it's actually that finite on anytime we're transferring money or something when it's not budgeted for, we have to go through TDC, you all, for the approval, for the recommendation, and then for BOCC for their approval.
So that 75 you say I've got budgeted in case the H word happens isn't an actual budget item.
Well, it's not, because we have a contingency line in there, specifically contingency for that. But I use that mainly because of the H word, and because last year when we did it, when we did the campaign, for those who don't remember, very successful, but we didn't have a contingency, so I had to go to Steve, and since we were under that natural disaster, like a declaration, he was able to sign that, and that's why we got that done so quickly. Yeah, it was exactly. So I said, you know what? Next year we need to just have this in our media plan. That way, it just gives us the flexibility. And guess what? If nothing happens, then we can use it for something else, like another special project or something like that. So okay.
So no, right?
All right. Okay, so moving on. So again, thank you all for that direction. Again, some budget growth opportunities. You know, right now we are in our onboarding phase of the short-term rental compliance with GovOS. A lot of work. I won't lie to you. If you just dealing with a lot of taxes and forms, and it's heavy. But once we get it done, it's going to be great. Tourism Improvement District.
Ask you, sorry.
Please.
So when will you start having information?
Hopefully we'll start having that information drop down. Let's just call it 30 to 45 days ish. As far as
Because that's still something the city is.
I already know.
Yeah, definitely want to take a look at.
Yeah, we'll have all that information for the entire county about where, how much, how long. We'll have everything. So we can definitely share with you guys. That's not a problem. We've talked about, again, this is just budget growth, the future development, and this is long term. We talked about a tourism improvement district. Michael and both Holly were both with me in Seminole County, and that's just something I want to have on our radar. Right now, we're just our first steps is just figure out what are some of the things that we want to develop in the future that makes the most sense. Of course, get with our hoteliers, our owner and operators, and see how that looks. This is something to where it's basically like a fee, a resort fee, like you see when you go to Orlando. That's $25 resort fee on top of your bill and everything. We won't be charging nowhere near that much, but this is not even a tax. This is an actual fee. But in order to get something like this passed, we have to have a majority of our hotel ownership groups to approve something like this. But again, this is just potentially another way of increasing our overall budget, in addition to tourism development tax collections, because we've seen around not only in the country but around the state, our TDT has come under attack throughout the years in Florida, and this is something that virtually really cannot be attacked, cannot be taken away. So this really even secures more funding for what we want to do. So there's only 2 tourism improvement districts in the entire state of Florida. One is actually Ybor City, just in Ybor City, not Hillsborough County, just in that district. And then the other one is a county-wide one in Seminole County. And they're using their tourism improvement district to build a brand new indoor mega sports complex is what they decided to put their funds towards. So that's something we can decide with the community and figure out if that's something we have the appetite for. But I definitely think it has potential. If Commissioner Davis or Michael want to talk about it. But right now, it's just more so investigating is where we're at right now. I just wanted to mention it to you all.
Definitely a fan. And as far as giant indoor sports complexes for Florida Association and Counties Innovation Conference, we toured the one at Celebration in Gainesville.
Yeah.
That was sweet.
Yeah. And just to kind of give you guys an idea, so with Seminole County, they are doing, I think it's $1.75 fee, total of $3 on the bill, because some of the money goes back to the hoteliers, but they're doing a 30-year, basically a 30-year bond, essentially, and they're going to collect basically an additional $30 million each year. So they're bonding let's just say $90 million. It might even be more, but that's how it's going to work for them. So they're going to bond to put together this mega project because they know the money's coming in that way. So that's pretty much in a nutshell how something like that will look. You figure out what you want to do, whether it's beautification, whether it's some sort of a indoor meeting space. We just know we need to diversify our portfolio other than just, and we love them, the manatees, but I hear Dr. Desai saying, hey, what if the manatees go away? What's next? What else do we have? And that's something we have to kind of think about the future. Hence why we have a strategic plan, and this goes all in line with that. So it's just we have to constantly evolve. And that's the name of the game. If you don't evolve, then you're going to get left behind because nothing lasts forever. So continuing on. Excuse me. Oh, no. Continuing on with our strategic plan, one of our pillars is advocacy, ecotourism advocacy. I'm gonna let Terry talk about that later in her presentation. But we have a brand new eco-compliant partner program that we're really excited about. Workforce advocacy. We've done some small partnerships already with the Citrus County School District, specifically Lecanto High School. I'll show you that later as well. Business community advocacy. Healthy Living Fair. Kelly was a part of that recently. Homosassa Seafood Festival, the 50th. I know Nick, Terry, myself, we were all at that over the weekend. Dragon Boat Festival. This is kind of like the Live, in my opinion, opportunity. And I went to that for the first time, Lake Hernando.
Pretty amazing, wasn't it?
Did you know? It was mind blowing. It was 75 different teams, I believe, 7 different states. It's the largest dragon boat festival in the entire state of Florida.
I thought it was the whole Southeast.
I had no clue.
I thought it was the Southeast.
I don't know about the Southeast. I just know
they pulled teams from, I think, Brazil a couple years ago, like South America.
Yeah, so I just know it's large. And I know there's also staying the night. They're at resorts, they're at hotels, and we have to. I know they used to be a part of our grant program. I'm going to meet with Sandra, one of the event organizers, and I told her we're going to figure something out because it's no way, even though our logo is blasted everywhere, we need to figure out a way to help them out, and I think we can totally do it. And then I think it's sports, it's for a good cause, but gosh, the amount of people that were there, I was just mind blown. I was like, this is a lot bigger than what I thought it was. This is like the real deal.
For a couple of years, we had our Veterans Fair there, and I ran it and worked largely with the Education Foundation. It is global, but there's a couple of things you need to realize. Well, first of all, there's a dearth of hotel beds around that area, and there's a couple of old hotels. We should really be looking at grants to get folks to buy some of the 1950s and put things there. But what makes that the event that it is the unique place where you can, the way the lake is laid out so that the fans can see the whole race.
Oh, it's great.
The judges can see the whole race. It's not one where you start and you go one place. It's a very unique race, and it's probably currently at capacity. So the things we've got to look at would have to improve the facility there in Homosassa or in Hernando first. And the second thing we should be looking at is bed capacity in the area or how to transfer that.
Well, they stay, of course, in the hotels. They do a lot of short-term rentals. A lot of them do short-term rentals. And another good thing is when they finished up around, let's say 3, 4 o'clock-ish, I know a lot of them were heading right over to the Stonecraft Fest. So it was just a great tie-in. Luann, I don't know if you saw any uptick in your bookings or for maybe space or something from that event, or they might have put a book out a while ago anyway, but it was just huge.
Yeah, we have a friend, Emily. She won 2 silvers and 2 bronze at the International Dragon Boat Festival in Brandenburg, Germany this year.
Okay.
And she lives on Lake Hernando, and she was at that event.
Oh, I'm sure she was.
It's been huge. What was it, 5,000 people? At Brandenburg, it was 4,800 participants.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it was great. It's a big thing.
It was a good thing. The schools were a part of it. I was recruited to a local team. They saw my back and they said we need to get his back, his strong back. So I said okay.
They wanted the guy that does the call. The stroke.
Okay, I didn't know where you were going with that. I don't know that guy.
Okay, we're cutting this discussion off right here,
Yes, so
right now.
did you skip right over workforce advocacy with Citrus County School District?
No, I didn't. I mentioned that, and we're going to talk about it a little bit later as well to talk about what I did there. So again, thank you for Kelly for the Healthy Living Fair. More of a community awareness thing, and we've been asked we try to participate as much as we can locally. And because we are spread thin, but it was a good experience. Some business travels, and we'll talk about this. We'll go in deep, but Visit Florida Media Mission was in Nashville, New York. Recently, Brand USA Travel Week was London. Was Terry. Destinations International Summits was Jackson, Mississippi. Both Christina and Terry went to that, and then coming up for Terry is she'll be in Brazil with Visit Florida as well for the next mission. I'm gonna let you go to the next slide. So going on to the advocacy, this is Lecanto High School. I was asked. I met with Dr. Hebert and Derek Bratner of the school district, and Stephanie actually accompanied me on this particular trip, and I was asked to talk about hospitality, the future, and this some avenues to the students. I think I spoke to about 110-ish or so students, and it was an amazing time. And they want me to, I guess, now do a series along all the high schools now, which is fine. And
wonderful.
they were very attentive, and the idea to talk to them about the opportunities that hospitality and tourism can provide for them. In addition to some of the other things that they've learned from, I would say at the end of the speech or the presentation, I mean, Stephanie can tell you, I had a line of students. One girl came to me and she said, "You just changed my life," and it was like, I want to do this so bad, and they just didn't have any idea what the depthness of what hospitality can provide, and the travels and the cool things that you
Not
can
just
actually
cleaning
do.
rooms and waiting tables.
Yes,
and
totally.
Just so you know what's going on this particular one, there's a lot of feedback that comes from all our boards, but from this board, I have advocated for a long time that we need to not just empower but demand that Withlacoochee Tech does more to create the workforce that matches the Citrus County we want to be.
Yeah.
And 5 years ago, Tom and I went and gave a pitch to the Withlacoochee Tech on how to set this up that starts with the hospitality industry and moves on to certifying guides or coming up with some system that says who the good partners are. And since he got elected, he's developed a relationship with Derek Bittner, and they've already had good talks on that. So this is
So Tom and Derek and I met, and Tom put me introduced me to Derek, and then once we kind of did that, the wheels. I mean, it's just really at the beginning stages, but the wheels have already started to turn, and so I appreciate
Another person
Tom.
you might want to loop into that circle is Mike Tringali.
Okay.
He's very deep into making WTC bigger and better than it is. So
I like the path we're on.
turn me loose.
I like the path we're on, and Tom, I don't know if you want to say.
I can get you his contact info.
Derek's he's on board.
Yeah.
As soon as Office gave his spiel, Derek went, "I don't know why we're not already doing this."
Yeah. So.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I think
And
it could be a.
The answer was money. We spent time with Ms. Bishop, and she really was, because on the tourism guide sides, we had lined up a bunch of folks. There was a previous ecotourism certification that this county had for guides, fishing guides, and they were working on hiking guides, and then the program fell apart. And several of those people volunteered to actually teach the first sessions that we would run to get the classes going.
Well, you had a class.
But we
They
can't.
set you up.
TDC can't help fund that though, correct?
No, it's not about that. It's just really about making it into a public-private partnership. But that's kind of get into the weeds. I mean, just one thing at a time. One thing at a time. But with the public-private partnership standpoint, the hospital system, the hotel system, the hospitality system, even from a statewide standpoint, there's monies that we can kind of dig into for support to be. I mean, I really believe this can be some sort of a really cool pilot program for the state to follow.
Well, but
if we
and
do
we
it the
could
right
also,
way.
though, we can fund studies, and for example, the program that Tom and I took there was lifted almost entirely from a community college on the Chesapeake, on the Delmarva Peninsula of Virginia you could end up with an associate's degree in sustainable businesses. So, there are ways we can get research done that would facilitate Dr. Bittner and et al. Doing what they want to do.
Well, Office and I discovered that there's a organization like that in Florida too. Really big in hospitality accreditation. There's some kind of certification that the hospitality industry does.
Yeah, it is.
I love all of this. Thank you for spearheading that. And Derek Bittner is one of my favorite people on the
He's
planet.
awesome dude.
And again, it goes in with one of our pillars of our, again, I'm gonna tie every time we do something, I'm gonna tie it back to the strategic plan, and that's what it ties back to. So,
Excuse me, chair privilege. Kathy wants to say something on this topic, I believe.
Thank you very much. Back in 1997, the Historical Society partnered with the Florida Humanities Council, the Chamber of Commerce, and the TDC. And we did create a eco-heritage guide training program that was certified through the University of North Florida at Jacksonville. So it was a grant fund from, the Florida Humanities Council. We produced heritage guide brochures, and we did the training, and we went around to different venues in the county, and those areas took part in providing the information from a heritage standpoint. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy. Thank you for the indulgence, board. Go a little off protocol.
All right.
What else?
sure. So next slide. This is to talk about from London, from Terry's travels, Brand USA Travel Week. I'll let her expound on some of just a summary of that trip.
Terry, you know I love you, but I'll be right back.
No worries. This is the first time we have attended this event, and it was just fantastic. You could see it's just kind of like Michael Menke has been to World Travel Market, WTM, and ITB, and those are, you have a booth and you have a couch and you sit and you chat and people come, and this was, you have a 4-foot table, 4 chairs, and a little temporary wall between you, and it's speed dating 101, and you're just boom, 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 boom. So I had, in 2.5 days, I had about 44 meetings, I think. One person didn't show up. But it was all over the world. It was all international. It wasn't just people from the UK. It was people from France, people from Italy. I met with people from Belgium and the Netherlands and Japan.
And what type of people are these?
These are trade folks. So it's the tour operators, the receptives, the wholesalers. Well, not the receptives, the wholesalers, and then the resellers. So it was great. Still a lot of interest in our destination. The international market is, the prognosis is it's going to be a while before it comes back to what it was prior to several months ago. But they're all very positive, and I think it's really crucial that we continue with the work in these destinations and keeping in front of the international market, because when it does come back, it's a really important part of our the midweek and weekday travel.
Was this just Florida, or were there other U.S. destinations?
Every U.S. destination was, well, not every, but it was all U.S. It was done by Brand USA, which is the Visitors Bureau, essentially, of the United States.
And that particular row is like mostly all the Florida destinations, so they kind of lump us together, so people can, when they're coming out, okay, here's the Florida people, here's the New York folks, et cetera, et cetera. All right. Next slide. So also this last month, we had a Visit Florida media mission, both Nashville, New York. Flew into Nashville, I think Monday. We had the event Tuesday night. That next morning, then flew to New York for the event that night. So it was bam, bam, bam. And it was a great experience. This is something that I normally wouldn't have gone to. Our PR person, Brittany, she's now very soon to be giving birth to a very healthy baby boy, so she couldn't travel. Terry was next to Big Ben, and somewhere in the UK, I guess. And then so I went. So they prepared me. I feel like they were preparing me for a presidential debate, because I had all these media folks and influencers with their pictures and what magazines they represented, and I had like my cue cards to figure out who to seek, who to go after. But this is really cool. The cool thing about this media mission was you have to be selected by Visit Florida to go. So we have to put together, basically a reason why we should be on this trip. It was only 7 destinations. Myself, I should say Discover Crystal River, Citrus County Tourism was there, of course. Sebring. The largest destination was St. Pete Clearwater. We had Ocala Marion. We had Fort Myers, and we had Fort Walton Beach. were the and Martin County, Martin County. So those were the brave souls that did that, and it was really good because for us we really stood out amongst them all. But it's not really like we're competing with each other for the most part. But what was really nice is Ocala and myself, Loretta. She's actually on the end there. She's tall, just like myself, but she is my counterpart in Ocala, Marion. And there was a lot of influencers in media that were all about the horses and the outdoors. So her and I really teamed up together on a lot of different pitches where we can get them in. Hey, couple of days your place, couple of days my place, that kind of thing, which is really nice. The cool thing about it is at each particular event, I got to have a 90-second to 2-minute spiel to talk about the destination and what they can do, and to excite them to write about us and to come into the marketplace. We take all those leads. Brittany, our PR agency, they comb, sift through them, and then they eventually put packages together to get these folks into market, which is really nice. But it was a really good experience. Good call, Mark. So Homosassa Distillery. So we submitted several spirits companies, distilleries that we wanted to promote because they were looking for some spirits for one of the events, and they chose Homosassa Distillery, the Pinktail Vodka, and they made a select Florida mule, which is really cool. So he had his brand all over Manhattan, New York on this particular event, and it was kind of cool that we were able to do that. Again, that's just one of the things that we try to do well is promote our partners and our small businesses. So we're really excited about that. That went over very well. So he was able to see pictures and videos, of his company, in essence, in New York City. So right downtown on a rooftop. So go figure, So a great opportunity for him. And we're just all, we're going to continue to provide those opportunities for our partners in the county where we see fit. So it was a great event, and I just thank the opportunity for Brittany. She did an amazing job preparing me because it was a lot to prepare for, and it was very tiring. It was exhausting. So we did 3 events in 3 days, basically. Next slide. Again, activities. Guys, I'm only doing all this. I just want to, we're busy, and we were doing a lot of this short-staffed, and we hope to actually add to the team even additionally than we already have now. But in addition to that, again, Destination International, they have 2 amazing summits, Biz Operations and Thrive. Both Terry and Christina attended that in Jackson, Mississippi, about a week and a half ago-ish. I feel like everything has been like just bang, 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 bang. This week was the first time we were all together in the same office without someone being out of town or doing something or whatever. It was, the cool thing is this is more education. This was the ability for them to really connect and network with other destinations from around the country to see what they're doing from a business operation standpoint, or even from a Thrive standpoint, from a community involvement standpoint. If Christina or Terry want to talk about that a little bit, just a brief summary.
I know you don't. It was a really unique opportunity to see what people are doing, especially given in the current environment as far as social awareness and making sure that all parts of your destination are represented. So it was really interesting to see what the creative ways that people were able to make sure that inclusion is prominent but not drawing attention so as to not lose funding. So it was a lot of good ideas.
Awesome, thank you. Okay, enough of the activity. Let's get into some demographics here I wanted to share with you all. Zartico with the new launch, you're going to need some glasses, but that's okay. I can, it's not, just so you know, this is not in my report is never in the packet because I can't do this 3 weeks in advance when things are due for the agenda. So, but I can always send you guys my actual report. Zartico, they are now calculating, or I should say, doing the reports from a daily standpoint. Before it was a summary of the visitor. Now they're doing daily totals, which is really cool. so we can get more accurate counts now. But this is a date range. The full of October is not out quite yet, so everything I'm going to show you is from October 1 through the 15th, and I think there's some good things to take from it. Tom, don't worry about it. I'll send it to you.
I can't even see.
Oh, okay, I got you.
So I can see it.
But I'm gonna explain it to you. I'm gonna tell you why I like this particular. So this is for the first 2 weeks of October, and if you notice, the first two categories are household incomes of 101 to 150,000, and then 151,000 plus. It makes up 46% of our demographics. That is a number that I am so excited for, because those are the type of people, consumers, visitors that we want to attract to this market. Those who are clearly have, whether they're retirees, good jobs, but they're spending money in our market. So really excited to see that. I didn't think it would be that almost 50%, especially with 23% over $150,000. So that was really good to see. The next slide, you will see, some more numbers. 27% are, 65 plus, and then 18%. What's that? Okay, 18%, 45 to 54, and then which is that age demographic has actually bumped up from the 55 to 64, which is interesting. So now they're coming in at a high 18%. So 36% are 45 to 64, and then you add in another 27% of the 65 plus. So clearly you see who is coming to the marketplace. And again, I'm gonna make sure you guys get all these slides as well. Next slide, Stephanie, please. The spend. So a little mix of good news and bad news. Keep in mind, this is all October 1 through the 15th. So Tampa, the darker bar is for current year. The lighter bar is for this same time last year. So Tampa was down 10%, 19% versus 29%. But look at this, though, I thought was really nice. Orlando, Jacksonville, Philadelphia, and that Tallahassee area were all up over from this time last year. So again, it mixes in a little bit of the good and the bad. Obviously Tampa is a lot more people coming here. But when I see that Orlando, Jacksonville, Philadelphia, and Tallahassee, those markets are more than likely going to be staying the night in our marketplace. All right, next slide. From a lodging standpoint, kind of going to that, these are markets of our top markets, which are most likely to stay the night. Tampa, again, is down from that standpoint. But if you notice, Orlando, Jacksonville, Philadelphia, Tallahassee, the other two markets that were right below Tallahassee were actually New York and Boston, and they both were up, which is also another good thing. So the message is definitely getting out there. Now, this is what I'm excited the most about. I'm actually going to switch. Kat, should I drag this over to the screen? Because when I hit the
Oh, yeah.
just drag it. Okay, cool. I didn't know that. All right. Awesome. And then I'll make it big. Perfect. All right. Okay. So let's have a microphone here. Okay. Give me just a second.
That's not gonna make it.
Yeah, she's gonna. Thank you so much. Hello. Awesome. All right. Not on. Testing.
She's got it. She got it turned on.
Okay. There we go. Thank you, Kat. Appreciate it. So this is the brand new analytical reporting that I was referring to earlier in the slide with the new version of Zartico. This is a brand new cross visitation report. Now we're able to tell when people are finally in the marketplace where they're coming from, and then not only where they're coming from, but once they get to the destination, where do they then go within the destination, right? So this is Three Sisters, and what I did was I put it for the entire year, okay? Luann, you have your copy now, I believe. We sent that over to T, so just so you know, for the Cove, you guys have the same one now for your property.
Yeah, cool.
So, but the darker is the resident, the purple, the dark blue is a resident, the purple is the local visitor, and then of course that light greenish color is the visitor. Local visitor is someone who is technically outside of the county, but within 50 miles. Make sense? The resident is a resident. That's you all. That's us. The visitor, someone outside of 50 miles. Okay. That's the distinction. Now, the cool thing is, if I go to these bubbles, this shows me 5% for the year came from Detroit, Michigan, Chicago, 2%, Milwaukee, 1%, Des Moines, 1%. Who's this over here? New York, 6%. And then, I mean, I can take this map and I can really comb into all the neighborhoods, and it gets really granular about where I'm going. So this Orlando area, this is 4%. I can drag this down. Then you can kind of see different spots here, Inverness, all the areas in the county. So the top origins, now mind you, this is for Three Sisters, because we want to take a point of interest. We want to either look at hotels or major attractions or resort areas, because that's where a large concentration of people go or come from. So with Three Sisters for the year, Crystal River, Inverness, and Citrus Springs were the top resident cities that came into the park. Now, local visitor cities were Spring Hill, Ocala, Yankeetown. Visitor markets, Tampa, St. Pete, came in at 9%. New York came in at 6%. Oh, and Detroit, Michigan came in at 5%. All right? Now, this is what's really cool. So this is that fireworks starburst effect. And I'm going to, let's do this so you guys can, and by the way, guys, I can send this to you as well. I believe I sent one of these reports to you guys already as TDC, but I can send this as well. So this is a live document. So this starts out, everybody at Three Sisters, and then it tells me where they're going once they're in market. If I scroll over here, that's the Ellie Schiller Homosassa Springs Wildlife State Park. So from Three Sisters in that year, 1% of those people went to the park after Three Sisters. I mean, we can look at gas stations. I mean, there's all types of things here. So let's see. This is the Lecanto Community Park, less than 1%. This is racetrack. Racetrack is pretty popular, I've noticed, with everybody. It's 4%, but it's just one particular racetrack. But if you notice, all these lines are different places to where they're going in the county. Now, it breaks it down again. Resident, local visitors, and visitors. So from residents from Three Sisters who go to Three Sisters, after that, they go to Little Spring Park. Again, there's that racetrack. I forget which one that one is, but you got Hunter Springs Park, you got Kings Bay Plaza, and you got Crystal River Shopping Center. Those are the top 5 destinations from residents. Now, local visitors, they are a little bit different. Little Springs Park, Hunter Springs Park, the Tea House was very popular. The Homosassa Springs Wildlife State Park, and then there's racetrack again. It's pretty popular. I mean, we need to strike a deal with racetrack. And then now from our visitors, Little Spring Park, Hunter Springs Park, Kings Bay Plaza, Citrus Coastal Creations, and then Fort Island Beach, which was a whopping 7%. I thought that was pretty interesting. So from Three Sisters, our visitors, 7% of them are actually going to Fort Island Beach. This metric is really going to help us out for several ways, because it's going to let us know, not only how do we market and advertise, but it brings a little bit more into the why we're doing something, to understand exactly where do these people go once they're in market. Are they spending money? Here's a case where I think Commissioner Davis, from a BOCC metric standpoint, is these people are not only doing tourism things. They're also doing traditional sales tax things at the gas stations, at the Walmarts and the Targets, and that actually goes into our overall budget. So without these people spending their money in our community, essentially we are able to do the things in the county, you know, a great deal because of someone from out of town spending their out of town money into our community, thus increasing our local tax base. So the power of this reporting to see exactly what they're doing is quite frankly stunning. So
The whole $20, we would save $20 on ad valorem versus, was it 800 in tax savings?
889.
Or 1,000 per household? What is that higher number that we save? Is it all sales tax? How is that calculated?
So the household we save is almost $900 per household.
Yeah.
Is what you're talking about. And now the overall is what, 11% when you add in, I mean, or not 11%, but it's 5% for lodging, and then sales tax is what, 6? Is it 6? 6%. You know, in regards to that, you know, we provide a 15% total of all local spend from a visitation standpoint. So I don't know if that answers your question. I mean,
I figured it would be probably several things that go into making up that $900 figure, so.
oh yeah, it does. It does.
Not just sales tax.
It's not just sales tax. No. Yes, you're correct.
Super.
Retail sales.
But yeah, this is just you know, and then of course when you look at from a hotel or lodging partner, that looks a little bit different as well. I think I shared Michael's what Pat Hotel's lodge looks like, but I think I only did that 3 months. So I need to give you another report so I can show you the full year, or we can even break it down by quarter. Luann, yours is for the whole year, and we have to have a name change because they have American the boat tours. It's the same address, but it's the same thing, so it's just a name thing. But hopefully you got this. I don't know if you got a chance to take a look at it yet, but if you have any questions, I can walk you through it as well. But it's really good insight to see, hey, you know, am I getting folks from the villages? How many folks are they going to the, you know, that kind of thing. So it really kind of puts things in perspective about your actual guest. Guest for, of course, your short-term lodging, your spaces, and then the restaurant in general. So you know you have like 3 different consumers there. So.
Great.
And this is all Zartico.
Yeah, this particularly is the new version of Zartico. This is their Z5.
And how much do we pay for that?
Annual about $80,000.
That's great.
Yeah, about $80,000. Yeah, I mean, for what we get down the reporting, you know, to continually be more data driven, so well worth it. And then now that we have the key data. This is the added bonus now with the key data and the fact that we now are going to have the international component and the trends and the forecasting, because what I saw was we can now look at a 2-week booking or a 1-month booking operation, and then we can figure out, are people booking a week in advance, 2 weeks, or are they booking 6 months out? We can see all that now with that data. So it's just it's pretty powerful. And again, it's going to let us know just how we advertise, and you know, and from a social media standpoint, it gives us a better roadmap to follow. That's all it is. It's not a silver bullet, but you know, it's good information to have at our fingertips.
And how much does the key data cost?
Key data is included into the Zartico feature.
Oh,
Yeah.
so that's the new.
But nothing is free. Yes, nothing is free, but it's all included.
But I mean, that's the new element of Zartico. You're saying
It's an additional
Key data
element.
is the new element.
It's an additional element. Yep. All right, and I believe that ends my portion. I'm going to let's see for a second.
One question. 2L2. The disparity between what Tampa's not bringing, since it's the largest market. Do we have an overall health of the market? I mean, we see the other places are growing, but they're growing smaller. And then secondly, is there any, I know the answer to this before I ask it, I think, any correlation as to why a market would be down? Any key indicators that would show, or why a market would be up?
Well, with Tampa, and Tampa is down. Like Tampa, like just Tampa tourism. Tourism is down just in general. So I think people are just in that particular market. They might be looking at other places that they can do on the weekends and things of that nature. I don't really have any concrete data of like why are they not coming to Crystal River, but I think they're also just doing other things that might be closer to home. Even though that 10% dip from Tampa market is showing, and like you mentioned, the other places are smaller percentages. The only caveat I would give to, like, let's say New York, Atlanta, Detroit, or whatever that metric was, we know that they are at least spending more money because they got to stay the night for the most part. So that's the only caveat that I say is that I don't think it's a wash. Because the Tampa, Orlando market percentages. I mean, you're talking about 40% of our market, so there's a lot of people. So yeah, the economy's not helping. So
There's nothing officially through Zartico that gives us any key factors.
no key
They just
factors.
spit out the data.
Yeah, they just spit out the data. I mean, I can't tell you. They're not saying And now Tampa I don't know what Tampa's using. I mean, there might be a way to figure out, hey, where are people in Tampa going per se? But that'll be from their data, though. So I don't have their market data.
Well, they were impacted by the hurricanes last year, and those people had to spend a lot of money to fix their houses.
Impacted by a lot, yeah.
Deductibles and
Yeah.
that compared to the other ones that were against them, they definitely suffered more than. I mean, we suffered, but we're not necessarily coming here.
Yeah.
As people are from Tampa coming here.
Yeah, I was just at Destinations Florida annual meeting. I should put that on activities. I forgot about that. I was there last week in Destin, and that's where we usually do our state of the state. We all go up, stand up, and talk about our communities, what's going on, what's working. And everybody, for the most part, that stood up was only a couple of communities were up. Everybody else was down in numbers. A very slow season in the spring and the summer for a lot of destinations. So, yeah.
Diane Bedard from naturecoaster.com, we're friends with her, and she says that she feels from she covers the whole Nature Coast, and that the consensus she gets is that local Florida travelers that are on the Gulf Coast are like in a kind of almost depression after the storms from all the money they had to spend, and just the fact that their house is finally back and they can spend time at their house and they're not traveling and they're making day trips. Oh, you live there. And she just felt like that we're just coming over a backlash from they finally got their house built, their dock built, they're spending time at home, not going out.
Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons. It's definitely a combination of things, and I think that's why we have to, that's why we have to do as much as we can to market, promote, PR, advertise as much as possible to stay top of mind. So when more folks are now ready to travel, that, oh, you know what? We just saw this ad, or we just saw this pop up on my social media page about the area, that type of thing. So, yeah. Yep. All right. Well, that's all I have on my end. I will pass this baton to Terry.
Okay, then it's bad news. I've got the numbers for, oh, that's right, thank you.
She's the arrow.
August, obviously we were down, trended up what we were down over, like say July, we were down, I think it was 17% year over year, July to July. August, we were down 8.29%. Oh, microphone, sorry. And you can see year over year, so fortunately we had a good first half of the year, and we're still up year over year by 4%. If I were to forecast and tell you how are we going to end with 1 month left to get the numbers from the Department of Revenue, I would say we'll be darn close to that 3.2 million that we were forecasting at the beginning of the year. So despite the bad months, the overall fiscal year looked good. Next slide. Oh, is that me? Okay. Star report for August. And you can look at all of the comp set. Everybody's down year over year as far as occupancy. ADR is a little bit, everybody's kind of holding on to the ADR, which I think it's about time that we need to lower our rates a little bit, but I know Michael Mankey's going to give me a hard time about that, but
Demand has been established.
the
Don't
demand,
sell yourself cheap.
the demand is 50%. Anyway, the numbers are the numbers. So next slide. Again, year-to-date numbers, we're still a little bit more on the positive side, so that's good news. I love to see that. And then for September, again, a really bad September as far as the STAR report goes, with occupancy being down 8.3%. ADR is down a little bit, but again, I think that's also a result of the loss of plantation rooms, and then RevPAR as well. Yes, sir.
Just as a point of reference, my point is, if you look at the STAR report, you're seeing that, let's say, Marion County lost 13.5%, 13.1% in rate.
Okay, sorry.
They lost 18% in occupancy, so their strategy of dropping rate did not drive demand for rooms. Likewise with Flagler County, down 4.8% in rate, yet their occupancy was down 19.9%. Sumter County, down 3.9% in rate with 15% down in occupancy. We were only down 1.1%, only lost 8% in occupancy. Just to continue my theory on the demand curve has been created. Don't sell yourself short to try to steal share you're not going to get. Because if they hadn't dropped their rates 13%, their RevPAR would have gone about 5% because they would have gotten the same number of room nights at more money.
I will tell you, in the 44 meetings that I had in London with all the international travelers,
Tour operators.
tour operators are
different.
demanding a
Dropping
much
your
lower
rate on a
rate.
bar
And that's
basis
based on, and that rate is based on a percentage of what the ADR is, so
Doesn't have to be.
6, 7.
That was the greatest thing I think I heard all night.
I know.
Tour operators will always ask you for lower rates. It's their JOB.
J-O-B. All right, J-O-B. What are we on next? There we go. Thank you. All right, so very exciting for all of us. We came with our strategic plan, being eco-focused and sustainable tourism focused. So I got together with a handful of the manatee tour operators that I know are doing it right and that care about the environment and care and make the efforts and the investments. And we came up with some criteria. And you have that application in front of you. I apologize, it's a weird looking document because it's an online form, but I had to print it out in a Word format from it. So just disregard the format. It looks a lot better online.
Terry,
Ma'am.
we've been talking about this since I've been on the board.
Yeah.
How did this finally get through?
I actioned it. It just happened. I made it happen.
Thank you.
So
Shape on the logo. What is the shape on the logo?
it's Florida. You see Florida on the right-hand side?
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
The keys down there at the bottom.
All right, so the eco-compliant program we created to protect what makes this area truly special. We've also realized that we've spent over $1 million or just about $1 million in both Homosassa and Crystal River supporting those restoration projects for the rivers. And, it just doesn't make any sense for us not to support people who are doing it right. So what we did was we came up with this program. These folks will be officially recognized as eco-compliant partners. They will have badges on their boats and window stickers on their places of business. They will be listed on a separate landing page that will, once you hit Meet a Manatee on our website, it'll go directly to that page, and then the other manatee tour operators will follow on a separate page. So they'll be given sort of priority ranking for following this program on our website. Also, they'll get, moving forward, we will use them specifically for all of our fam tours, whether they be trade or media. They will be the featured operators. And then they'll be included in any special marketing and sustainability, conservation, PR, or media initiatives that we do as well. Just wanted you to know that this is up. It's on our website. The form for application is on our website. It's on the partners page. And we are kicking this off this week with the start of manatee season. Stickers? I did say that, I think, right? Yeah. But you can see the list of criteria. It's very much follows the Guardian Guides program that Save the Manatee Club does. We do have an endorsement from Save Crystal River, and I am trying to get one from Save the Manatee Club. Not quite sure that's going to happen because they're on a teetering line with the swim activity and what they do. But you can see brick and mortar establishment in Citrus County. They have to have a valid city or county business license. They have to pay for in-water liability insurance. All their boats must use shallow water anchoring systems. The exterior vessels have to include their business name, logo, and phone number. That is specifically so that everybody can keep each other in check, and if somebody's doing something wrong, they can be reported. They have to have an in-water guide present with a maximum ratio of 1 to 12 snorkelers. Guests must view the Manatee Manners video on site prior to entering the water. They're no longer, this will make them show the video in destination, in their market, so they know people saw it, rather than sending them a link. This is more geared towards those people that don't have the brick and mortar, that this is what they do. So this ensures that all of these things kind of ensure that they've got the SUP without us making them say they have the SUP, because we also don't want to, what is the word I'm looking for? Ostracize, that's it. Thank you, whoever said that. The Homosassa folks, we want to give them the ability to participate in this program too, and they don't have the need for an SUP over there. It's just our area. So, and then passive observation is not only practiced but enforced by the in-water guides and captains, and participation in a donation to 2 conservation projects per year. That can be a river cleanup, that can be a donation to Save the Manatee Club. It doesn't matter. And then they have to have an educational component on their, within their, either the brick and mortar, on the boat. It has to be something that they create conservation awareness. So.
Who are the inaugural tour companies?
Right now we have Explorida, Plantation Adventure Center, Waterfront Adventures at Paddletail, and Crystal River Water Sports. And those were also the people on the task force. But this hasn't been officially rolled out yet, so they kind of have the advantage. But I'm hoping that at least 5 more people come forward. We're going to do a press release and do some social media stuff to get this out, and maybe even something in the newspaper that we can get folks' attention on this. But
what was SUP? What was that stand for?
Special use permit. That's what you have to have that to go into certain places in the Kings Bay area and in the waters there. Right. And Homosassa doesn't have that, so.
Right. All this is for tour operators.
So in all this, to say that this is one, hopefully shaming some of the bad apples to start doing it right. And if they can't, maybe it means fewer boats on the water and fewer people on the water. So this is sort of our initiative. We got sick of waiting for U.S. Fish and Wildlife and FWC, and we just thought, well, let's do it ourselves.
When can we do this for trees? Because, I speak for the trees.
Okay, well, look.
I
And in
think,
fact, it really is an example of how you get a sustainable community. So challenge the builders to come up with the equivalent for how they're building, and then make it when people buy houses, they can choose folks if they really are coming here and they know why they want to be in a county that's different, support the ones that do that. It should be a county-wide program that different organizations, same things with hotels, those that choose to go to a more ecologically favorable way of maintaining their rooms should be rewarded for it. And you know, creating incentives from the county to be a place where we're fighting change to slow it as well as we can.
They do that in Australia, in Ayers Rock. They've got a new name for the rock, but they have that whole program. Every hotel has to be certified. The doors close. If the doors open, the air conditioner turns off. Stuff like that. Water, if the water's running, you know.
Max, Max, I like how you think. I can't even get county government to make a big deal out of recycling.
This is fantastic. This is really a good thing, and I know because I've spoken to Explorida about this because I know they've been really on top of this. So I think it's great because I think every time you see something like this, it's, you know, you said you're waiting for like FWC, or it's like not going to happen. It's got to be the people that are actually participating in the business that want to keep their business. You know, I moved here from Virginia 30 years ago, and there at one point their fishery in like the Outer Banks and things like that was at stake, and the fishermen got together and they said, we're going to impose these limits. So this is the kind of stuff that really helps and makes them look like they're really, and they're doing the right thing. And I'm not a fan of like all cancel culture, but this is a way that if you don't do this stuff, then you don't get to participate, or people don't want to use those companies. So I think it's great.
Yeah, and having that logo that says, you know, we've talked about this for a long time, that we couldn't do specifically certified guides, but this makes it a choice, and it creates the knowledge, the possibility that consumers can say, I choose the environment.
How big is this sticker? How big's the logo?
Is 8 inches, and then the one for the window is 4. They'll have both of those up.
And not to be boring, but it ties back into what? The strategic plan, advocacy. And this is, again, we're not a policing agent, but we can be a part of the solution and the change in the culture. So that's what we decided to do. As a board, that came through with our surveys and what you guys wanted to see for the next 5 years. So we're just kind of on that mission.
Yeah, favored status is much better than regulation. I mean, no one wants to be more regulation. But favored status, at least if the people are educated, they will favor it.
Well, and doing the promotion part of it too, you know, like Main Street, now that they have a place on Citrus Avenue, you know, them being able to say, hey, you know, because a lot of people are there, they're looking at stuff going on tours. Our city being able to promote this as well, because we get lots of complaints from residents about, you know, this kind of thing. So this is great.
It's a good start. All right.
It's my turn now. How exciting. So taking a look at some of our social media and just how we currently stand in terms of our main Facebook page, our Instagram, and of course the fishing Facebook page. With the main Facebook page, we're at around or nearly at 210,000 followers. Instagram has actually gone up the last couple weeks, in part because of our fam tours. We had a gentleman, Christian Byfield, with Byfield Travel, who was here this past weekend, and just his story posting alone of just the experience he had got us from 41.5 to 41.7. So pretty neat to see just in real time. I mean, the amount of notifications I was getting on our Instagram page of just the amount of people who started following our page as a result of that collaboration with influencers is pretty neat to see. And then if you go to the next slide, you can see kind of where we are at in comparison to other destinations. For example, it says 41.5 here. It's now 41.7, but in comparison to places like Amelia Island, where it's 41.4, or visit Tallahassee at 37.2, it just gives us that idea of where we are in comparison to other destinations. Right now, we're still kind of applying a new strategy of what I'd like to do with our social media profile and what we'd like to do on those pages, and boosting up things like YouTube that Avis and I have been talking about as well, and Steph and I have been talking about as well, just sort of trying to figure out what's going to be our strategy to get more and more folks to look at our profiles and see how we can just bring more people to our area and highlight some of the things that aren't just manatee centric and manatee focused, right? Because obviously people are coming to our area because they want to see the manatees, especially during manatee season. But going to places outside of that area, like for example, last week, that reel that I posted going to the Archaeological State Park, it sort of is in line with what I'd like to do with a for lack of a better term, a franchise that I want to kind of start on our social media profiles called Let's Discover, where we go out and go to different places throughout the county that highlights something that isn't just Three Sisters or isn't just Kings Bay, but going to places like Inverness and just walking around downtown Inverness and telling people about these neat opportunities and neat places that aren't exactly on the, quote, main drag. For our county. Doing something like that and highlighting businesses and highlighting different events, I think would be really neat. Having the Untapped event happening tomorrow in Crystal River, that's something that I'm looking forward to going to. We're posting stories about it. We're going to have a 1 to 2 minute highlight reel of just the event itself. It's what we did for the Arts, Crafts, and Seafood Festival down in Homosassa this past weekend. Just little things like that to let folks know what's going on and giving them an idea of what's happening in our neck of the woods is really impactful for people who aren't going to the event themselves, but see the event, see the cool things that are happening and thinking, wow, I want to be a part of that. If not this year, certainly next year.
Nick, tell them about the interesting thing you found on Facebook with the Brazil.
Yeah.
I just thought that was interesting that he found some information that we know we do it for a reason, but he brought some numbers and analytics to it, and I'll let you.
For sure. Facebook and Instagram collects the data as well, and you could see the insights on the slide here talking about the views and reach and followers and things like that that we gained through August. But it also breaks down demographics similar to Zartico in terms of who's following us, where they are, and their age and gender and things like that. And in terms of location, number one is obviously Florida. The most people who follow us are in Florida. But the second largest country is Brazil that follows us. Is about, I think it was like 12 or 15,000. I don't know specifically the number, but Brazil is over the UK, is over Canada. And it's interesting because in the 2 weeks that I've been here, I think we've had 2 or 3 influencers from Brazil that we've hosted and have posted a bunch of content in our neck of the woods. So really interesting just to see that that's the country, aside from the U.S., that we're getting a decent amount of people who are just interested in our community and interested in the county and what we're doing. So yeah, I thought that was really neat. But yeah, those are all the numbers in terms of insight that you're seeing from Facebook, Instagram, and again, our one of the things I'd like to do is sort of start boosting up our YouTube channel. And really getting that going, doing some of the longer form content, because Facebook and Instagram, great for short form content. Instagram especially, people are watching things at a substantial rate for about a minute, and then they're going away. You know, people's attention spans are decreasing by the millisecond. So I think it's really important to have that kind of short term content for Facebook and Instagram to highlight some of the neat things we're doing, but having more long form stuff dedicated to YouTube, there's still a significant audience for that. I know Avis, Steph, and I were talking about different type of initiatives of potentially utilizing our YouTube, something along the lines of like showing for the day trippers that you can't accomplish everything in a day. So trying to do new sort of campaigns of showcasing like, oh, we want to do this, 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 and this, but we don't have enough hours in the day, kind of showcasing that even if you're a day tripper, you should be here multiple days or you should stay the night, because if you want to accomplish all these neat things in Citrus County, you got to spend more time here. So that's just some of the ideas we've been floating around to sort of boost this the experiences here. If you could go to the next slide for me. And these are the fam tours that we've had recently. Kelly, I don't know if you want to mention something because I know you've been hosting them recently, but I know that most of them we've been getting from Visit Florida, with Hayworth giving us some, and then with one of the ones that are happening next week, that was just because they reached out to us, right?
Yes, yeah. So I can start talking about the fam tours. So Saliga no Roteira, they are from Brazil, and that actually translates to check out the script. So like listen up, like we've got, incoming news. So like they highlight all that. It's the one in the corner, the far left corner with me in the photo. That was Andre and Elon from Brazil. Their Instagram page alone has 2 million followers. And they have several more with, all their channels. But they were in destination. They stayed at the retreat. They went on a kayaking tour with Water's Edge Adventures. They did their manatee swim tour with Explorida. They went over to Inverness and went bicycling on the Withlacoochee Trail with Trek bikes. They went to Wild Bill's airboat tour. They ate at the Cove. They also
By the way, they love the Debbie sauce. It was that Debbie sauce.
Oh yeah, Alvis, did you join them at the Cove?
I did join
Yes,
them.
you did.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
Alvis
did. And
joined them at the Cove.
I said, guys, this chicken wings here is something different. And it's that Debbie sauce. And they said Debbie sauce? I said Debbie sauce.
Yeah, that sounds like them. They were really
Debbie
fun.
sauce. And I said Debbie sauce.
They put it in writing.
Yes.
Feeling the love, Luann?
Gotta love it.
So thank you for the hospitality. You're, as always, Luann, your team is phenomenal, first class, A-rated.
Good. Sorry, I
Yes.
couldn't be there. But I'd hear it.
They also went to the Ellie Schiller Wildlife Park in Homosassa. They visited Three Sister Springs. They had some wonderful meals at Vintage, Wallace's, Catch 22. So they did go to some of the high-end, building their itinerary was really fun. They studied the art of gastronomy, which is actually the art and culture and relationship between food. So I really wanted them to go to all those places that were like, fresh ingredients and, just they got the high service there. So then the top picture and the other picture, those are the tour that just had this weekend. That's Christian Byfield. He is from Colombia. And in the other picture on the right on the bottom is Christian with Sebastian, his photographer. So they were just here. They stayed over with the Paddle Tail, and they got to go swimming in Three Sisters with Paddles Outdoor Rentals. They went out on an airboat tour with those Zella airboats. They went swimming with Crystal River Water Sports, and that's him on the top picture. Was him with out with Crystal River Water Sports, and they went out with. They did a sunset glow tour with Casey's Kayak Adventures. They went to Kane's Cattle Company. They went to Waterfront Social, to Crumps, to Bayside Craft Kitchen. So, I mean, I met both of the tours for a lunch on both of those tours, and they absolutely had nothing but great things to say about our destination. They like the small town charm and that sort of thing. So those are the tours we recently hosted. Coming up, we have some more Brazilians coming next week. They actually I did put Visit Florida, but that is wrong because they just reached out to us like 2 weeks ago. So I was working on getting that tour booked for them. They're just going to be real quick in and out. And then coming up, we've already got several tours locked in for December. Odie Ruiz from Mexico. Leah Romek is from Canada. She's a journalist. She's already got like an article about the manatees that she's locked in to write for Zoomer Travel. And Carolina Grabova, Brittany sent us that one the other day.
Pronunciation is just impeccable, by the way. You are killing.
Oh, yeah. I did skip the one, the Destinos Imperdivis. I didn't say that one. But anyway, they just reached out to us. And they, by the way, all of their channels, what was it, 5 million? Yeah, they reached 5 million. Apparently, they came here like 4 or 5 years ago. That's how they kind of had our direct contact. And they reached out and we're like, oh, well, we're going to make it happen. So, yeah, just working on all those tours. So go to the next slide. And then these are the PR reports from Hayworth for September. We had 21.7 million impressions, 26,000 views, and 1,200 engagements. This Southern Living article was actually kind of like republished from the March 2025 article, so that reached 12 million views. It's just talking about magical Florida town to swim with manatees, so basically just highlighting our destination in line with the start of manatee season. And then the middle one there, the 7.7 million, is from She Buys Travel. That was when we hosted Amanda Jones and her family. She works for She Buys Travel. They're the travel agents that work for, that basically cater to the women planning all the family travel. So she had a blog on Forgettable Fun in Crystal River, so that got a lot of hits. And then that is the far one, 1.43 million is from Afar Media. They did 52 epic adventures in Crystal River. Swimming with the Manatees was on that list. Next slide. And then they also, that Afar Media just did a post on Instagram as well that reached 356,000 impressions, basically just naming one of the most epic trips you can take right now is to come to our destination and swim with the manatees. So that was all of us in our blue T-shirts at the Paddle Tail when we did our announcing of the.
Some of you guys were there too.
I think some of the people in the room were there.
People are still talking about Commissioner Davis. I forget where you were. I forget where you were, out of town. Maybe you're at a Florida Association.
Innovation Days, probably.
Yeah. Maybe that's what it was. And it was such a great event that day.
Yeah.
They were talking about me being gone?
No, I just wish you were, just saying I wish you were there. Because usually you come to the PIT meetings if you're not out of town on business related trips. So I was just saying it was today probably one of our better PITs events. So
You got to go on the roof.
yeah,
Yes,
we did.
We did go up there. You can go to the next slide. And then this Alexandria Belk was one of the foodie influencers that we hosted in August from Tampa, and she overall had 81,000 impressions, 12,000 views, 750 engagements, and there were some of her posts right there. I think there's just one more. On the next slide is going to be 30,000 impressions. This was from our July Media Fam Tour, The Women Who Wonder. This was an article written by Gail. She works for the Champion newspaper in the Atlanta area, and it got 30,000 impressions about much to see and do in Citrus County. So.
Right. Well, thank you, Kelly. I want to just take this quick moment, and I want to give Kelly her props. Kelly's been doing a lot of weekend work with these influencers because most of these things, as you guys know, they don't happen always between 8 and 5, and she's pretty much constantly taking on this new role, and she's running with it. So I'm very proud of you, Kelly, and I just wanted to give you acknowledgement there. So I appreciate you, and I'm trying not to, identify staff like that, but another person, Stephanie Earhart, she's been up with us since March, right, Stephanie? And she has taken on so much more responsibility that goes above and beyond her job description. It's been pretty phenomenal, and she's learned a lot, and she's taught us a lot, and she's single-handedly, with the help even of Terry, but she has really taken the social media when we were voided that position, and she really did an amazing job of keeping that afloat for us. And just among many other things that she's done in the office for us. So I want to say I appreciate you too as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't see the post about the frost on my windows this morning.
Right. Yeah.
So in an effort to hopefully end on time, anything else from the board? No?
I want to thanks for getting the report out earlier. It was nice. It helped.
Max, we're only doing this to please you. Okay. That's all.
And the problem is
when we walk into the office each morning, we say, "What would Max do?" WWMD.
What would Max?
It's all about Max.
Well, then, one other thing I would like to say, I've reported periodically on the battle for renaming, for reactivating the name of a Seminole War hero. We're getting really close, and I've been authorized to, and this is not as a council member here, it's in some other capacities, to start raising funds for a historic plaque for whichever name they do, if it's going to be Lieutenant James Izzard or Izzard Landing. The Sons of the American Revolution have reached out and contacted Izzards in South Carolina, so I hope we can come up with an event. The anniversary of his death is the 28th of February, but more likely by the time you get a historical plaque, it'll be Memorial Day. But along the lines that Kathy talked about, and you know, there is a largely untapped thing about historical tourism, but it also goes to the well-being of the county. If you don't protect the culture, folks feel like things are changing too fast. The more they see us remembering the past, adding in the untold stories. So I know you're working with the folks in Floral City and that are working with the Seminole Council on getting the Cheeky set up, but we're going to be offering you up some good things to run with.
One of my greatest fears, which I've expressed several times with all of the growth in the county, is that we're going to lose what makes us special, the small town charm. So I appreciate your efforts on that, Kathy, as well. So would anyone like to address the board from the public? Get your 3 minutes.
I think Christian Byfield was at the Art Park last Saturday. There was two guys doing stuff in it, so we may get some coverage there. The eco tourism thing, wonderful idea. As I volunteer at Three Sisters, and we desperately need people to follow the rules. And I think we need to get the word out too, because we got more than 100 volunteers there that are with the Fish and Wildlife Service. And if they can know what that is, so there's not a good way. We've got an informal network, and I can let them know, but I'll wait till some type of press release.
Yeah, we'll get with Andrea as well to make sure. We'll figure it out, because we haven't officially announced the press
we're
release,
not
but
gonna do that.
that's a great idea.
Yeah. So anyway, I volunteer with Three Sisters. I volunteer at the Art Park. Maybe I'm going to get involved with the Crystal River, and I'm a member of the Historical Society. Anyway, there's a lot of wonderful stuff going on here, and I want to thank you guys. As a volunteer, we get excited when we get to talk to new people that are from out of the area, but we really love to talk to people that haven't been to our site who live here, and there's so many who don't know about our state parks, that don't know. I mean, they know about the manatees, obviously, but and they're coming in. We've got lots of manatees now. But it's the hidden treasures and, the history and stuff that we want to bring people in. And you guys are making it happen. Yes, I know as volunteers we're an important part. But it's exciting. I'm looking forward to 2026, and happy holidays to you guys, and we'll see you next year.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I will make it really quick. Yeah, I wanted to kind of reiterate what he said in terms of, I love all the great things that are happening here with tourism, and I love the analytics. That is wonderful. I've been looking for that since about 1997, and they didn't have it like today, okay? So that is really
We'll
super
do
cool.
one on the courthouse as well.
Okay,
so,
cool.
The heritage, to see what that looks like as well. So that's one of our most important points of interest.
Okay, and then the last thing was, because we all know the impact that heritage tourism has or can have, and I was wondering, would it be possible to incorporate, along with ecotourism in the strategic plan, heritage tourism?
Yes, it's actually in there. It's all a part of the advocacy standpoint.
I specifically
in our heritage and our trail systems and everything. So it's all in there. That's again, going forward, everything that we're doing is tying back into that strategic plan. So
Cool.
The historical reference definitely was not forgotten.
Yes, I remember you brought some folks in one day at the museum, and I was volunteering, and I said,
Yes.
as he left, just remember heritage tourism.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you.
Very well respected.
We have three major focuses on history and culture in our upcoming visitors guide being released in
features.
Wonderful.
Yeah, features.
What makes Florida's Historic Coast Instagram account so much followed? Does anybody know why they're 95,000 followers?
That's St. Augustine, right?
Is it? Is it St. Augustine?
I believe
Oh,
so.
well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Is it St. Augustine?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yep,
yeah.
Well,
absolutely.
they are the oldest city.
Right.
Start by a few thousand.
Yeah.
Right.
They got more to talk about.
Right. Well, I don't
there-
know. Yeah.
Things we can talk about. It's
Yeah.
just we need to get out there and do it. So that's what I'm.
We need to build a
So
fort.
listen. Just so you know, Nick, I gave Nick a number about followers. So no pressure. I won't say it here publicly, but he has a number. I have a goal. I have a big goal.
We're punching above our weight. When you're our size and you're worried about St. Augustine, you're doing something right, so.
All right.
Is there anything further? All right, we are adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Wow. 11 o'clock.